In a small, dimly lit room, on the outskirts of a bustling city, a man named Elias sat hunched over a weathered table. The room was cluttered with maps, old photographs, and a collection of trinkets from far-off places. But what drew the most attention was the tattered passport lying open before him. Its cover was a deep shade of blue, embossed with a symbol that resembled a compass intertwined with a tree, a design that seemed to hint at a heritage both ancient and enigmatic. The passport belonged to a nation that had never been recognized on any official map, a country called Verenthia. Elias had always known he was different. Growing up in a small town, he had often felt like an outsider, his origins shrouded in mystery. His parents had fled Verenthia during a time of political upheaval, seeking refuge in a land that offered them safety but stripped them of their identity. As a child, Elias had listened to their stories of a place where the rivers sparkled like diamonds, where the mountains reached for the heavens, and where the people lived in harmony with nature. Yet, he had never seen it for himself. The tales were both a comfort and a curse, igniting a longing within him that could not be quenched. As he grew older, Elias became increasingly aware of the challenges posed by his unique passport. It was a document that, while containing the necessary stamps and signatures, was often met with skepticism. Immigration officers would scrutinize it, their eyes narrowing in disbelief as they examined the unfamiliar symbols and the absence of any official recognition. Each encounter at borders was a test of patience and resolve, and Elias had learned to navigate these situations with a practiced smile. But inside, he was often filled with dread. His journey began in earnest when he decided to embark on a quest to find Verenthia, to uncover the truth of his heritage. The decision was not made lightly. It was a leap into the unknown, a chance to reclaim a part of himself that had long been buried beneath layers of doubt and uncertainty. Armed with his passport and a few belongings, Elias set off into the world. His first stop was a city known for its vibrant culture and eclectic mix of people. He wandered through crowded markets, where the air was thick with the scent of spices and street food. He marveled at the colors, the sounds, and the energy that surrounded him. But despite the allure of the city, he felt an emptiness gnawing at his heart. He was searching for something that eluded him, something that could not be found in the bustling streets or the laughter of strangers. As he moved from one country to another, Elias encountered both kindness and hostility. There were moments of connection when people shared their stories, offering him a glimpse into their lives. He met a woman named Amara in a small cafe, her laughter infectious as she recounted tales of her own travels. They spent hours talking, and she became a trusted companion on his journey. Together, they navigated the complexities of borders and bureaucracy, facing the challenges of language barriers and cultural differences. But even with Amara by his side, the spectre of his passport loomed large. In one country, they were detained for questioning, the officers unable to comprehend the existence of Verenthia. Elias felt the weight of their skepticism, the judgment in their eyes. He struggled to articulate the essence of his homeland, the beauty and the pain that shaped its history. It was a battle against disbelief, and though he emerged from the experience unscathed, the encounter left him shaken. Days turned into weeks, and the journey took its toll. The thrill of exploration began to wane, replaced by a growing sense of isolation. Elias often found himself standing at the edge of a new city, staring into the unknown, questioning whether he would ever find what he was looking for. He felt like a ghost, drifting through places that were not his own, leaving no mark and taking nothing with him but memories. In the quiet moments, when the world around him faded away, he would pull out the passport and trace the lines of the unfamiliar emblem. It was a reminder of his roots, a connection to a past that felt both distant and immediate. The passport held the promise of a land that existed only in his imagination, and he clung to it as a lifeline. One evening, while wandering through a narrow alleyway in a coastal town, Elias stumbled upon a small bookstore. The scent of old paper and ink wafted through the air, drawing him inside. The walls were lined with shelves overflowing with volumes in multiple languages. and as he browsed, a particular book caught his eye. It was an ancient tome, its cover adorned with the same symbol as his passport. His heart raced as he flipped through the pages, discovering illustrations of landscapes that mirrored the descriptions his parents had given him. The book spoke of Varenthia, detailing its history, its people, and the struggles they faced. Elias felt a surge of hope as he read about a hidden valley, a sanctuary untouched by the outside world. According to the text, this valley was accessible only to those who carried the spirit of Varenthia within them. The notion resonated deeply with him, and he made a decision that would change the course of his journey. With Amara's encouragement, Elias set out to find the hidden valley. They traveled through dense forests, across rivers, and over mountains, following the clues laid out in the book. Each step brought them closer to a truth that felt both exhilarating and terrifying. Along the way, they encountered travelers from various backgrounds, each with their own stories of searching for belonging. These encounters reinforced Elias's belief that everyone, in some way, was seeking a place to call home. As they ventured deeper into the wilderness, the challenges intensified. The landscape became rugged, and the weather turned unpredictable. There were moments of doubt when exhaustion threatened to overwhelm them. But Elias held onto the vision of Varenthia, drawing strength from the stories of his ancestors. He would not be deterred. He was fueled by a desire to uncover the mysteries of his identity. One night, as they camped under a sky filled with stars, Elias shared his fears with Amara. He spoke of the weight of his passport, the burden of being a man from a country that didn't exist in the eyes of the world. Amara listened intently, her expression thoughtful. She reminded him that existence is defined not only by borders, but by the connections we forge and the stories we tell. Her words resonated with him, and in that moment, he understood that Varenthia was not merely a physical place. It was a part of him, woven into the very fabric of his being. After days of relentless trekking, they finally arrived at the entrance to the hidden valley. The sight took Elias's breath away, a breathtaking expanse of lush greenery, cascading waterfalls, and vibrant flowers that seemed to bloom in celebration of their arrival. It was a paradise untouched by time, a place that felt like a dream come to life. As they stepped into the valley, the air shimmered with a sense of magic, and Elias felt an overwhelming wave of emotion wash over him. In the heart of the valley, they encountered a community of people who welcomed them with open arms. They were descendants of Varenthia, guardians of a legacy that had been preserved through generations. Elias felt an instant connection with them, as if he had finally found his tribe. They shared stories of their ancestors, of the struggles they faced to maintain their identity in a world that sought to erase them. It was a narrative of resilience, of hope, and of an unyielding spirit. Elias learned that the passport he carried was not just a document. It was a symbol of survival, a testament to the strength of those who had come before him. The people of Varenthia embraced him as one of their own, recognizing the truth that lay within him. In their eyes, he saw reflections of himself, the longing, the search for belonging, and the desire to reclaim a heritage that had been lost. As the days turned into weeks, Elias immersed himself in the culture of Varenthia. He learned their customs, their songs, and their dances. He felt a sense of peace that had eluded him for so long. The valley became his sanctuary, a place where he could finally be himself without the weight of the world bearing down on him. He forged deep connections with the people, sharing laughter, meals, and stories around the fire at night. But as much as he reveled in this newfound sense of belonging, a part of him remained restless. The world outside the valley continued to turn, and he could not ignore the reality that awaited him. The challenges he had faced in his journey were not confined to borders. They extended to the very essence of identity and recognition. He had found Varenthia, but what would happen when he returned to the world that had once rejected him? One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Elias stood at the edge of the valley, gazing out at the distant mountains. The beauty was breathtaking, yet he felt a pang of uncertainty. He realized that while he had found a home in Varenthia, he could not abandon the world that had shaped him. He wanted to be a bridge between the two, to share the stories of his people with those who had never heard them. With a heavy heart, Elias made the decision to return to the outside world, but this time he would do so with purpose. He would advocate for Varenthia, not as a place lost to time, but as a vibrant culture deserving of recognition. He envisioned a future where the stories of his ancestors would echo in the hearts of others, where the beauty of Varenthia would inspire those who felt lost. As he prepared to leave the valley, the people gathered to bid him farewell. There were tears and laughter, promises exchanged, and a sense of unity that transcended borders. Elias felt a profound sense of gratitude for the journey that had brought him to this moment. He had discovered not only the land of his ancestors, but also the strength within himself to embrace his identity. With Amara by his side, Elias embarked on the next chapter of his life. They traveled together, sharing the stories of Varenthia in every corner of the world they visited. They spoke at gatherings, wrote articles, and connected with others who shared a passion for preserving culture and heritage. Slowly but surely, the narrative of Varenthia began to take shape in the minds of those who had once been unaware. Elias's journey was not without its challenges. There were moments of frustration when he encountered skepticism and disbelief. Yet, he remained steadfast, fueled by the love and support of the Varenthian community. He learned to navigate the complexities of advocacy, finding allies who believed in the power of stories to bridge divides and foster understanding. As the years passed, the seeds of recognition began to take root. Varenthia emerged from the shadows, no longer a figment of imagination, but a vibrant culture with a voice. It became a symbol of resilience, a testament to the strength of those who refuse to be silenced. Elias stood at the forefront of this movement, proud to be a man with a passport from a country that didn't exist, because now it did. In the end, Elias understood that home is not defined by borders, but by the connections we forge and the stories we share. His journey had transformed him, not only into a guardian of Varenthia, but also into a beacon of hope for others seeking their own identities. And as he looked back at the path he had traveled, he felt a profound sense of fulfillment, knowing that he had not only found his place in the world, but had also carved out a space for Varenthia in the hearts of many.